All right, welcome back to the Daily Trading Journal, journal number 2 here. And as always, this is not for financial advice. This is simply for educational purposes and or entertainment. I'm not a certified financial advisor, and I do not advise you to do anything that I'm saying in these videos, okay? If you want certified financial advice, go find a licensed certified financial planner or somebody who is, well, certified. Okay, now all that legal disclaimer is out of the way. Let's jump into the trading journal. This is simply musings from my experience as I am learning to day trade. Currently, I am not day trading anything more than one share per trade. So I am really basing all of my results on percentages. I'm trying to use percentages to develop a ritualistic and consistent green trading strategy based on momentum. Based on gap and goes and based on breaking through or holding VWAP and moving up on high volume momentum trades with usually a relative volume of anywhere above 5 and all the way up to like 50, low float stocks under $10. So that's what I am trading currently and learning as I go along and keeping these journals to keep myself accountable as well as not make the same mistakes twice. And maybe some people can learn from the journals with me. All right, first and foremost, yesterday was a great day. I had one red trade. I landed on 12% on the day, and so I was super happy with my trading on yesterday. I actually only made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trades in and out, so a total of 16 trades technically, but 8 in and out trades for a profit of 12%. Now, today started off a little bit on the rocky side. As you can see, immediately went into TSHA and lost 2%. I went into that kind of high. I would say I really chased that one. If we can look here on the ticker, TSHA. So stock opened up, and I chased it right up to the top, and super foolish move. It immediately cut back. I sold out at, I think, 24. And so again, I wouldn't say that. Okay, I would say this. I would say I didn't follow my rule there. Okay, so here's the pre-market high. That is where I told myself I would enter. Okay, and I entered at 227. So I would say I didn't follow my rule. As far as gap and goes are concerned, I want to trade a gap and go when it breaks through the pre-market high. Right off the bat, broke my immediate rule, lost 2%, but cut my losses quickly, followed that rule, which was really good, and ended up only with a 2% loss on that first trade. Now, from there, I went ahead and decided to give it another go. Made 1%. Trading it from 217 to 218, then made 2%, trading it from 220 to 225. After that, I jumped into IDEX and lost 2% right off the bat there on IDEX. So let's go check out that real quick. So IDEX. Again, my play should have been breakthrough 39 cents, right? So I should have waited on this stock until it broke through because though it was carrying above VWAP, as you can see here, it immediately cut down, meaning that its gap, it was not a gap and go. It was a gap and crap, okay? So that is definitely something that I need to be more focused on. I need to focus on my rule. I need to focus on my plan, which is to follow the gap and go strategy. All right. Again, I went ahead, lost some more money on TSHA or percentage because I'm technically not trading money right now or small amounts of it. And then decided to get into Mullen. Okay. MULN. I'm pretty sure that was, again, breaking my rule. Let's check it out. MULN. MULN, yep, was totally breaking my rule. I said, if this gaps and goes, I'm going to jump in. Instead, I jumped in and I tried to scalp, and I got eaten up. Lost less than 1%, which was great, but still, again, so far, all the trades that I've made in the beginning of the day, within the first, let's see what time frame this was, within the first 15 minutes of the day, I have not followed any of my trading rules except for cut your losses quickly, which did save my butt. Okay, from there, we jumped into TSHA again against my rules and made about 2 to 3%. All right, after that, I ran a new scan that was simply for momentum stocks on the day and found REVB, or as I was referring to it, Reverb. REVB. And this one was within my rules, okay? So it was gapping up. It was above its pre-market high. And so this one fell within my rules. So immediately I jumped into REVB, and I did well on RVBE. I made right off the bat 5%. Then I made 1%. And then it was starting to be on the backside of the move, and I lost 3% and 5%. So I'm trying to figure out, as far as setting up rules for myself, if a stock is not showing very fast momentum, as in moving up 5-10 cents at a time, per minute, if it's more of a consolidation pattern, if I take a 5% win, should I get out, right? Like, these are questions I'm having to ask myself. Because right there, if I would have been here, I think I was about 6% on the day there. Let's see, 385 through 394. 385 through 394. 394. Yeah, so I was up 6% on the day there, right? Made 6% on the stock. That put me back up right there. Right before this trade, I was at break even. And so the question I should have asked myself is this stock, is it carrying momentum? Are we continuing to move up? Now, as we look at the chart pattern, in hindsight, no. I caught the big part of the move here. Wait, let's see here. What time was it? It was 9 o'clock. All right, so I caught a good bit of the move here. So from 9 and then up to about 9:18, right? That was my best part of the move. And so from there, it started breaking down. Now, if I would have gotten back in at 40, I could have wrote it up to 50. But again, hindsight is 20/20. What I should have seen is that this thing was breaking down, and it may not go ahead and test its highs. Again, I should have waited. I should have seen what the stock did. I should have taken my profits and moved on to a different stock, because this was not showing strength continuing to move up, right? If a gap and go is showing strength, we should see it continue to climb from these points. Just climb. If it's not showing strength and it's showing consolidation, then it's more of like an ABCD pattern, which I'm not necessarily super familiar with or focused on trading at the moment. And so I have to be very conscious of what I know and what I don't know. And I did not follow that rule. So I ended up giving back 7% when I only made 6%. So now I'm in the negative. From there, I went ahead and jumped on to I made back 3%. I made back 2% on REVB, and then jumped into HLBZ. This is a stock I have traded in the past, so I was familiar with it. One of my rules is, if I'm familiar with a stock, I can trade it a little more aggressively because I'm familiar with its chart pattern and its movement. So HLBZ, I took a quick move from 36 to 37 cents, made 3%, put myself back at like a 1% positive on the day. Let's go back and make this what it really is. So 402. Okay. And then from there, I gave back profits on XELA. I have traded this one before, but didn't do well. I gave back 2%. I think on this one, really what it was fear. I think I was trading a lot out of fear today. I traded really well yesterday. And so today, I just was really hung up on not wanting to give back profits. And that really clouded my judgment. And I ended up giving back. Well, I ended up giving back profits. I'm up 1%. But I didn't continue that trend of making good plays. So basically on XLA, I was going to get in around the 28 cent, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch it, make sure it breaks through these levels. It did. It broke through these levels. I got in right at the tip, and then it crashed. I thought it would continue up past this whole number, and it didn't. And it's continued to test high 29s and break down. So that's on the backside of the move as well. And I just played that poorly. I didn't get in soon enough. I was too worried about my entry, and it ate me up. So at that point, I was down about 1%, or no, I was break even at that point. And so I made a final trade of CGC, 285 to 288. I'd yet to ever play this one before, but it was looking like a really strong, slow grind up. And so I played that slow grind from 282 up to 285. I'm pretty sure that's what I played. Let's see, 285 to 288, sorry, and made that 1%, putting me positive on the day. Now, my goal really is more than anything to have green days. That is really what I want to see right now in my trading. So that's why I stopped trading after I got green again. I simply told myself, okay, if I can get green, I'm going to get out, because I'd rather have a slow green climb. I'd rather have, a couple 10% days and like a 1% day or a 3% day than have a 20 to 30% day, up, and then a bunch of red days, because I was trading without any sort of rules and guidelines. What happens is, for me, I, like most people, get emotional and I just start trading. I try to get back. I believe the term is like revenge trading. And so that's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to be very thoughtful about the trades I'm doing. I'm trying to cut my losses quickly. I'm trying to make smart entries and exits. I'm trying to get over the fear of losing. And that's really where I feel I'm at right now. This is something I read yesterday, but remember the losses as learning. If you forget the losses to pursue positive thinking, you'll be prone to repeat mistakes that lead to more losses. Because right now, currently, I am more afraid and familiar with losing than I am excited and feel familiar with winning. Right now, when I win, I seem to win moderately in my head. And when I lose, it feels like I'm losing big. So even though I'm 1% on the day, compared to yesterday, it feels mentally and physically, and I mean like my energy and my morale feels like a huge loss. And so I have to overcome that. I have to overcome and push through that, because there will be times where I will take big actual losses financially in the future when I start trading actual value. And at that point, I can't allow that to cloud the next day. I have to accept it. I have to look it in the eyes and say, this day didn't have the setups that I was familiar with. I traded the best I could. I should have traded less, but I didn't. That was the mistake I made. So tomorrow, going into the day, I'm going to trade less. I'm going to wait to see the setups prove themselves to me. And this is something I've told myself in the past, but you have to tell yourself, I have to tell myself over and over again, so that I continue to make good decisions on trades. I heard it somewhere, but I'm going to say it again. Let the stock prove itself to you. Don't try and be right. Try to win. So my goal is not to be right. My goal is to win. My goal is not to prove that I'm right about a stock. My goal is to have the stock prove itself to me worthy of my trade. And if I can take that approach and hold on to that approach, I'm going to be more confident in my trading. I'm going to have better green trades and overall green days. And so that's really what I'm aiming for, is green days. Even if it's a 1% green day, that is more important to me than a 30% day and a negative 25% day, right? I'd rather have a 1% green day than a 5% green week, because that it will not go anywhere in the long run. I'd rather accidentally trip into a 30% green day because the stock just kept running and I just couldn't do anything about it. It just kept running. It was just amazing. Then try and scalp my way up to 30% and risk losing 30%. Because my strength right now has been just finding good momentum trades, getting in, riding it up, and getting out for anywhere from a 5 to 15% move. Like that, those are really good moves for me. And if I can do that consistently and not get into garbage and try and scalp and deceive myself into thinking I can hack my way up and hack my way into better trading, then I will be better off. A hard day mentally, just looking at it, accepting it. It wasn't bad as my last week, which I had a negative 24% day. And then the week before I had a negative 27% day. I've heard a lot of people say we're in a very bear market right now. It's really choppy. And so I kind of find some encouragement to the fact that I'm managing to learn and adjust in this market. It seems like I am when I think about it, I feel kind of afraid that I'm learning bad habits. That's one of the fears I have, because I don't want to learn, scalper mentality if that's not what's going to win in a nice, strong bull market. But I am willing to learn how to trade in this bear market, so that way when we have bear markets in the future, I could be successful. I'm taking these trading journals so that I know in the future when I've gone through a bull market and I did really well and all of a sudden things turn, I can look back to these day one, day two trading journals and know that I went through this before and I need to reorient my mind around what the current market is. My friend who's trading alongside of me, he traded in a really strong bull market and did super well, made like $100,000 his first year trading. But then the next year just started to give back profits because the market turned and it was no longer everything's just going up, just buy something high and sell it higher. It was, buy a dip, sell a spike, buy a dip, sell a spike, because it was choppy. And that's what I'm seeing right now is a lot of choppiness. And so I'm having to learn how to take the quick moves and avoid the down chop. That's really what I'm feeling most in these past couple of weeks. I've had some really good weeks where, I've traded multiple green days and, it felt really good. But those negative 12, negative 24, negative 27% days, those were really discouraging. And it was really just based off of rage trading, just trying to hack back, just trying to take anything that's moving. And what I found is that when I find something that's been moving up all day, I usually buy it right as it's peaked and it's going to crack back. And I have to stop doing that. That's probably the thing I have to stop doing most, is buying these slow runners that have run up, 10, 15%, and they don't have the momentum to keep running at that point. And so either I need to work on better scans to find those quicker in the day, or I just need to avoid those. Scan, make the trades that I found, make the small percentages now based on gap and go strategy and breaking through VWAP, and then maybe learn those trades later. If I'm trying to trade too many strategies, I'm not going to trade any of them well. And so that's really what I'm trying to work through. All right, so overall, lessons for the day in recapping. I didn't stick to my strategies. So number one, I didn't stick to gap and go or breakthrough VWAP. I ignored the gap and go strategy. I probably would have made no trades in the first 15 to 20 minutes of the day, which would have left me better off. I did cut my losses quickly. I didn't take my profits and move on. And I think that would be probably a better move in this current market. Because everything that I made a profit in, I ended up giving it back. But when I just made a trade and moved on, I kept my profit. And so that's something that I may have to implement tomorrow and kind of add to the checklist. So in conclusion, tomorrow, follow my plan, cut my losses quickly, and then take the profit and move forward. I will say that if I want more profit, that I have to trust my trade and I have to stay in that trade longer. But to go in and out too many times is where I find myself making losses. Not taking losses, making losses. Because what happens is so let's say I buy in at 288, 285. I watch it move up to 288, I sell, and then I'm like, oh, it might keep moving. So then I buy it again at 280, 288.5 or 288.5, and then it pulls back to 286, and then I sell, and I immediately gave back that profit. But then when I sell at 286, all of a sudden it ramps back up to 289. And so that is a fear trade. And I have to get better at saying either I'm going to get out and stay out, or I'm going to stay in, trust the momentum, and follow through and see if it moves up. So for instance, on CGC, it ended up breaking down, but I sold at 288 here. It pulled back, and then it moved back up to 291. So the best I could have done on that trade was an extra 3 cents. So in that instance, I did make a good trade on that because it broke down from there. But if I want to trust, I need to be willing to trust the trade and not give back profits. That's really the focus. But tomorrow, take profits and cut losses quickly on both ends. follow my plan, and don't scalp based on no hypothesis. Don't scalp just because it's moving up. And that's something I did today, and I was very foolish. Luckily, I ended up 1% on the day positive, because I did not trade worthy of plus 1% of the day. Yesterday, I traded 12%. I did that. I felt good about my trades. Today, I was clicking and hoping, and that is no strategy. All right, thanks for joining today on this journal. If you've watched it, if this has even been released, again, these are unlisted right now. I might list them later, but for now, bless your trading day. Again, this is not official financial advice. This is only for educational and entertainment purposes. Make your own decisions, create your own learning, or contact a certified financial planner who's licensed and registered and insured and all those things that need to be done in order to get strong financial advisement. Maybe I'll see y'all in the next video.